Hey friend, welcome to the Playful Art and Heart podcast. I'm Janice, artist and founder of Hamleta Studios. And honestly, I'm just trying to juggle life, art, and self-care without losing my mind. Around here, we talk about escaping overwhelm, putting ourselves first, and adding more play and creativity into everyday life. It's part reflection, part pep talk, and a reminder that it's okay to figure things out as you go. Welcome back to the Playful Art and Heart podcast. I hope you've had a chance to rest and connect with your loved ones recently, especially if you celebrated Thanksgiving this past week. My family and I had a wonderful, heartwarming day, and I felt so full afterward. I love those moments in life where you step away from an interaction feeling immense gratitude for everything that you have. This feeling, this sense of fullness has really set the stage for me to talk about something I've been feeling deeply lately, which is the sheer joy of being present. I want to chat a bit today about gratitude and being present because it truly is a gift. It's a literal gift to be alive today, and it is aptly called the present. Lately, I find myself very present. Lately, I find myself to be very appreciative of the present. I'm thankful for the day I'm having and the current moment that I'm experiencing. Sometimes I just look around and I list all the wonderful things I see, and that simple gratitude fills me with joy. For instance, when I walk outside to check the mail, I can now admire the pretty fall colors. The leaves are changing to beautiful reds, oranges, and yellows, and they're dropping to the ground. The nice cold chill of the autumn air is something I deeply appreciate, especially after a typically hot summer where I am. I can finally enjoy bundling up in a cozy sweater and a big scarf, which is definitely my preferred wardrobe. I've always struggled with summertime clothes. I really dislike wearing t-shirts and shorts, and I never know what to wear. So I am thankful for the season where I can pull out my favorite pieces like jackets, hats, and even my purple earmuffs. Even though it's only about 40 to 50 degrees where I am, I still appreciate and enjoy every bit of it. When I am mindfully present in these small moments, I realize that everything is going to be okay. All I truly have is the present, and I try not to dwell on the past or think too far ahead into the future. I choose not to get caught up in the collective worries and anxieties of the world. I know there's a lot of heaviness and fear that's circulating, but the only thing we can really control is how we react to these situations. And I choose to react by being grateful to be alive and for the safe moment that I am in right now. Now, this outlook and perspective did not come easily. This has come from a long time of personal growth and development. I used to be the exact opposite of present, always future oriented, working towards a goal, stressed about not having what I wanted. I was always rush, rush, rush. And I think back to my grad school days, endless reading, essays, projects, internship, part time job that required traveling, planning a wedding. I was focusing on my new marriage. I had a grandparent pass away, and I was job hunting. And it was a lot. But that experience is what gives me perspective and something powerful to compare to my life today. After I graduated, I worked in city government. The culture was intense and it was filled with highly educated and ambitious people wanting to do good in the world, which I really loved. I loved that vibe and I really loved that whole feeling like we're all working towards one mission. But at the end of the day, it was still work, and I always knew that work came second to my personal life. I didn't want to climb the ladder. I didn't want a bigger workload. I wanted a smaller workload, to be honest. I wanted a better work life balance, and I knew I had those boundaries. And I was ready to settle into that job, staying on that one rung of the ladder for 20 to 30 years, living the life society considers successful. But deep down, it never really felt aligned. Even though I did love the job, I loved my coworkers and the mission. Then life intervened. I gave birth to my second baby in 2021, just as we were kind of coming out of the pandemic. I had spent the previous year working from home, enjoying an incredible amount of time with my first baby. And despite the challenges of 2020, I personally thrived as an introvert working from home. I was spending a blissful amount of time with my baby. However, returning to work after my maternity leave felt dramatically misaligned with everything I believed in. My perspective on life had changed drastically in that year. I realized how much of my first child's early years I had missed while working in the office. So, after about a month back at work, I decided to resign. And I knew it was the right decision. I was crying myself to sleep every night, knowing that this was no longer the life I wanted anymore, even though I spent almost a decade trying to get there. I still have zero regrets about leaving my career path to cherish the present time with my kids. But I do need to be completely honest with you. The solution was not just quitting my job. The internal struggle did not just vanish just because I handed in my resignation. I had been so busy for so long that I actually struggled to transition to just appreciating the now. I had a lot of deep work to do on myself to figure out what my dreams actually were and what an authentically aligned life felt like. And this meant finally pursuing my little art studio dream again. And to do that, I had to work through a mountain of negative self talk and limiting beliefs. That difficult work, that shadow work, is what helped me build up my confidence and the belief that this new path is something that I am worthy of. So the change was really about creating space. I learned how to effectively journal, and I am meditating as much as I can. I have been extremely intentional now about where I give my time and energy. I've cut out a lot of mindless social media scrolling and nonsense TV shows that were taking up my attention and energy away from me. Instead, I'm choosing to focus that energy on my dreams and my goals, on things that truly serve my growth. This is a continual path that I am walking on. And part of building my business and my life is having to confront those demons every day. It's about focusing and learning to listen to my intuition wherever it may take me. I used to worry a lot about the future, constantly seeking the next milestone, but I've learned that achieving more doesn't necessarily lead to happiness. Once you get what you want, you often feel unsettled again because you're already seeking the next thing without appreciating the journey or what you've achieved. And my biggest lesson through all of this was that the pursuit of more was distracting me from the bliss of right now. So that's just a little insight on my journey from anxiety about the future to fully embracing the present. And before we wrap up this episode, I wanted to leave you with two things. As always, first, an affirmation. And I encourage you to save this, say it out loud, and repeat it whenever you feel the rush creeping in. The affirmation is: I am exactly where I need to be. I trust the pace of my life, and I am grateful for the gift of this present moment. And finally, grab your journal. Your prompt for this week is: where in my life am I still chasing a future goal instead of appreciating the things I have already achieved and possess right now? Think about that. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Let's choose to be present and let the gratitude overwhelm us with joy. Okay, until next time, be well and take care of yourself and your heart. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Playful Art and Heart podcast. I truly hope something we discussed today resonated with you and helped inspire a little more gratitude and presence in your week. If you enjoyed this episode, please do 2 things for me. First, if you haven't already, please hit that follow or subscribe button right now. And second, taking just 2 minutes to leave a rating and a review helps this podcast reach more beautiful hearts who are also trying to live a more present and authentic life. To find all the resources we mentioned today, including the journal prompt and affirmation, links to my art studio, and a whole lot more, be sure to check out the show notes for this episode. You can also visit my website at hamletastudios.com to explore my work and join my newsletter. That is the best place to get exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, and fun inspiration delivered straight to your inbox. Remember to stay playful and keep creating and keep choosing to grow. Until next time, be well.